Kimberly, and today I have for you my first ever DIY. So, I have 3 different body scrubs that I'm going to go ahead and show you today how to make. They're fairly simple. You don't really need that much stuff. They all have like the same base ingredients, and they're super, super good gifts. So, Christmas is coming, whether we want to admit it or not, and they are good for those people you forget, you don't know very well, or people you just don't know what to get for. So, I'm going to go ahead and tell you which each 3 of them, what they're good for. I'm going to tell you a little bit about each thing, and I'm just going to go ahead and fill you guys in on things that you might not know. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so the first one we're going to start with is the coffee scrub. The coffee scrub is very good for, it energizes and helps, rejuvenate your skin. It's a very good exfoliant. It helps reduce cellulite, and it reduces red spots. And let me tell you, I have used this quite a few times, and it is the best exfoliant on the market, and you can make it yourself. So, what you are going to need is 1 cup of sugar. You are going to need 1 cup of coffee, ground, preferably it said organic. I just use what I like, and I just use the coffee that I drink. So mine is 8 o'clock coffee. I get the dark roast, that's just me, and I don't grind it all the way. I like to leave it a tiny bit chunky, and that is for the exfoliation part of it. So that was a 1/2 cup, and then we're gonna go ahead and grab another 1/2. So, and it doesn't have to be exact. To be honest, when you guys do these at home, you can go ahead and do them to your discretion. Some people will add more of certain things, and some people will add less of certain things. So it's just to your discretion. So we have the 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of coffee. We need a 1/2 cup of coconut oil and a teaspoon of vanilla, and that is all. So let's go ahead and grab the coconut oil. All right, so it says a 1/2 cup. All right, so we have our 1/2 cup of coconut oil. And our teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I like to use caramel and vanilla extract in mine. The caramel brings out a lot of this, like the smell. You do your 1/2 teaspoon of the caramel. I'm gonna go ahead and do a full teaspoon, just because I like that smell to come out a little bit more when you're in the shower, right? So then you take and you mix everything together. If you guys want to add some of the bath salts into this, more than welcome to. I used a little bit of extra grapeseed oil. I did a 1/2 cup as I'm showing here because the consistency still wasn't the way I wanted it to be. It was a little bit less actually than a 1/2 cup. So go ahead and move on to the lavender. We have some fresh lavender that I have from my garden. In my opinion, if you can get fresh lavender, that's going to go ahead and bring everything out more, because a lot of times when you just buy the lavender essential oils or the lavender at the store inside the bottles, the potency and the benefits don't come out as well. So we have the lavender that is good for bug bites, skin irritation. We have for minor burns. We have for an anti-inflammatory. We have relaxing. You know, relaxing goes with anxiety, with depression, with stress, with insomnia, with, you know, restlessness. Like, we have a overall good benefits from the lavender. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So we're going to start with a half to 1 cup. It just depends on how much you're trying to make of this. I'm going to go ahead and start with a half a cup because I need to not make so much, because what am I going to do with all this stuff, right? I mean, sure, I can use it for Christmas, but I mean, this doesn't last forever. So this can last up to, I would say, about 4 weeks. And then that's like the cutoff of this. I have pushed it to about 6 weeks. It just depends on which ones you are using. So for the sugar scrub one, that one should last for about 6+ weeks. And then for the lavender, because I'm not really using anything that goes bad, that one can also last for that long. Now my next one with the rosemary and basil, that'll only probably last for about 4 weeks. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, I used a half a cup of sugar. We're going to use a tablespoon of coconut oil. My chopper, and I'm going to go ahead and finely chop up these lavender pieces, the lavender stems and leaves. And then we are going to go ahead and chop these lavender flowers up. There you have it. We have the lavender bath scrub. You can go ahead and you can add some of these if you would like. I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit, just because it's a little too greasy for me right now. And I want it to be a little bit thicker. So there you go. That's about how much I added. I added about a quarter of a teaspoon. I mean, a quarter of a cup. And this smells so amazing. Again, I wish that you guys could smell how good this smelled. So, all right, guys. And lastly, we have the Rosemary Basil Body Scrub. So this one is a little bit more complex. You have a little bit more ingredients to each that kind of has its significant values. We have a lot of good benefits to all of this stuff. So with the rosemary, we have the antioxidant, the anti-inflammatory. It's good for memory and concentration, for pain, for headaches, for healthy hair growth. It just has a lot of very good beneficiary elements to it. And then we have the basil. The basil is good for wounds, skin infections, and cuts. It does have a lot of other good benefits to it. It's just when you ingest it. So those, those are a little bit different opposed to the body scrub part of it. But this is very good for when you are going to shave, like before shaving. It's also good for before self-tanning. It's overall, this one right here is just very, very good for your skin. Again, it's good for your hair. So it just has a lot of good benefits. So let's go ahead and get started with this one. So first we're going to need 1 cup of sugar. Then 1 cup of coconut oil. To use the lemon essential oils, I'm going to say about 10 drops or so. It kind of poured out a little bit too fast, but use it to your discretion. I'm sure you guys can figure that part out. And then we're going to go ahead and start the chopping process. We have our 3 body scrubs. I will say that when you put these in your little separate containers, there are a few different ways that you can kind of dress it up a little bit. So for the rosemary one, you're going to sprinkle a few of the leaves that I did leave out. Same thing for the lavender. You're going to go ahead and sprinkle a few of the flowers on top. And then for the coffee scrub, you can just put some of the bath salts on top to kind of make it a little bit more, I don't know, visually appealing. So I'm going to show you how I individually package these, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up. All right, so I have the first one, which is the lavender, and we're going to go ahead and scoop it in our little containers. You do want to make sure that you try your best not to get it on the outside, because this can be very difficult to close the containers once. See, just like that. You see how I just did that? You want to definitely wipe that off as best as possible and kind of shove it down in there. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to take your lavender and you're going to just set it down like that. And then place your lid on, and then you can choose to put a label on the top or a label on the side, but a lot of times these are going to be used in the restroom, so you want to just go ahead and make sure you don't overdo it. And then we will move to the rosemary basil, and we're just going to do the same thing. So you're just going to go ahead and take some of the rosemary leaves, and then you can do the second one with the basil leaf. This will also create a stronger fragrance when you open the container. When people open it, it'll create that smell. And lastly, we have the coffee. So you can either just leave it like this and be done, or you can go ahead and fill it and take some coffee beans and spill them in here, along with a few of these. So there you guys have it. That is all for this video. If you guys liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have not already and you would like to, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell for notifications for every time I upload another video. And if you guys like this video, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you liked about it. Let me know what you didn't like about it. Let me know if I should do more. And until next time, you guys, bye!